Hi there, so in our previous tutorials we've constructed all the parts for the sweet dispenser, so now it's time to assemble them there. We're going to start by putting the lid onto the block here. So I'm going to click on the block, I'm going to click on the lid, I'm going to drag that across and we're going to move that up. So we know that block there is 60mm tall, so we can just place that on top there. Just type in 60 there. So now we need to align it so it's over that hole in the center. So I'm going to press shift and then click on the block as well. So both of those items are selected. And I'm going to click on the align tool. Then I'm going to click on the block again. I'm going to click on that center one on the side and the center one on the front there. Again, you might need to rotate your view to get the right view of that there, of the alignment tool. So that's them, they're aligned. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to group them together and click on the color. And I can click multicolored there. So we can get the wooden part and then the kind of plastic lid. There we are, that's looking good. The next bit I'm going to do is I'm going to put the block with the lid into the tray. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to move this up 4mm because it's going to sit on the bottom of that tray there. Then I'm going to press shift and I'm going to select the tray. And again I'm going to use the align tool up here. And I'm going to click on the red tray again first. I'm going to click that center line to align it to the center. I'm going to rotate this round. I'm going to click that back edge align. So it's kind of aligned at the back edge there. And there we are, that's lined up. So with them all still selected, I'm going to group that then there again. It's automatically kept the multicolour function because we already had two parts which were multicolored, different colours there. Next up I'm going to select the drawer here. So I'm just going to drag this over to the middle here. And we're going to drag this up in height, so using the black arrow again there. And we'll have a look, 12mm, see what that looks like. So you could go a bit higher there, so you can always zoom in using the scroll wheel or the commands on the left hand side there. And I'll just rotate around to get there's my black arrow there. There we are. So 13mm up. That's looking good for me. Actually, I've got a wee gap there still, so I'm going to just move that up 1 more millimetre. There we are. So 14mm for me. That might vary for you depending on what your dimensions of your model are. What I'm then going to do is just going to rotate round, and I can actually use my arrows on my keyboard to kind of move that kind of backwards and forwards. So I can move that to the right. Just clicking the right arrow on my keyboard there. There we are there, that's looking good. Just going to make sure we've got the center line though, so I'm just going to hold shift, click on the block there, and I'm going to click on the alignment tool, click on the main block, and we're just going to click on that center alignment tool. And see, it's just slightly off center there. So that's all aligned now. And I'm just going to group that so it kind of stays in position there. That's our kind of final model. So there we are there. That's looking good. I'm just going to move that kind of a bit further back in the working plane there. Right, so the thing we've got to do is our jar now. So our jar is over here. So I grab that over and I'm going to rotate that round. So when we're rotating, remember if you rotate on the outside, it does it at 1 degree increments. But if you bring your mouse on the inside here, oops, I lost my rotating there. If you bring your mouse on the inside, it rotates it 22.5 degrees. So it kind of locks around and it'll lock to 180 then. So it's nice and easy. Right, so we're now going to move our jar on top there, okay? So we need to move, I'll just drag that up so it's kind of partially overlapping. And we're going to grab that black arrow. I have to zoom out a little bit here, getting quite tall, this item here. And I'm going to go for 68 if my maths is right. That's looking good. There, so we had again 4mm for the base, 60mm for the block there, and now 4mm for the inside of the lid there. Now we're going to kind of line this up. So first of all, I'm going to click on hold shift, click on the main block there. I'm going to use the align tool again. I'm going to click on that main block, and we're going to use that center line to bring it across there. We can to get the next bit lined up, I'm just going to click on the jar and So rotate that around so I get a good view from above, and I'm just going to use the arrow keys and then moving that across at 1mm increments. I'm just going to move that till it looks about right there. Cool, that's looking pretty good to me, nice and centered in that lid there. And that's how our sweet dispenser modelled. I'm not going to group that, and I'll show you why. If I hold shift and group it with the rest of the item there, because it's got transparency, it makes the whole thing transparent. So you can group it if you decide you want to, but you rather need to untick transparency. It's not all transparent. You get a kind of grey jar. Leave it transparent, but you can ungroup that last stage there. I think that gives you the best looking model there. So don't forget to attach a screenshot to the assignment there, so you can see how you got on. And that's our sweet dispenser modelled in Tinkercad.